Alright, cunts, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap. Who am I? I'm Viggy. If you're new here, this channel is about delayed gratification. As in, that is what art is about, delayed gratification. This is an art progress channel. Artwod is the best, I'm going all over the place. Artwod is the best draftsmanship or drawing from imagination teaching platform in the world. Link in description, I'm not affiliated. I'm just a huge dick rider. Right? If the words delayed gratification scare you, they shouldn't. They should be a reflection of the fact that with enough time and effort, you will achieve anything that you want. In the domain of art, the skills you're looking for, right? Who am I? Why you should listen to me? Well, don't look at this current example, because this is the difficult stuff. Look at this. That's a drawing from imagination. I've never drawn a ship nor a cityscape or roads before, but I did because I tried my ass off. Here's what I can do with my basic forms so far, right? If this level of skill interests you, please do stay, not because I need your attention, because I require it. I beg you, please watch every video, like, subscribe. But just draw along. Just either draw along or get the fuck off my channel, alright? Because this is an art progress channel, as in not just my progress, but everyone's progress. We're a community, hashtag Viggy Farmers. And with that being said, now that everybody's fucked off and it's just the same people, right? Okay, yeah, you guys know what I'm doing. I'm looking at a portrait. On the left, right, I'm putting a box over that. I'm putting a sphere. I'm visualizing a box over this portrait, trying to hold that trajectory while I look at the page here as well. I'm trying to put a sphere inside that box and center lines inside that sphere, inside that box, vertical and horizontal. If that sounds extremely difficult, it is. It's trying to hold 3 layers of perspective, visualized and calculated on my mind in the page, or a combination of both. I don't know why I did the hashtag thing, but I guess that's just my thing. But yeah, we're all drawing now. And again, the whole point I try to prove with this channel is not only can anyone draw, the only thing holding you back is effort and time, both of which are available to you. Okay, I don't want to hear anybody say they don't have time to draw. I draw for an hour a day. You can probably draw for a half an hour a day, and perhaps you have to put a lot more effort than I do, but the point is, everybody has time to draw based on the things they want to prioritize in their life, right? If you don't prioritize art, cool, then this isn't for you, right? It's fine. There's probably other things that you prioritize, which you should wholeheartedly put that effort into. But let's be honest, 99% of people nowadays are absolute fucking losers. They're complete waste men who don't put effort into anything, right? Work ethic seems to be a dying art. Thankfully, I was a waste man too, and I learned how to have a work ethic as well. So if you were a loser, or are a loser, who was smoking weed, jacking off, playing video games for decades of your life, much like myself, congratulations. Just from the age of 25 to 28, I've been able to accomplish relatively decent skill acquisition, and the beauty of it is the fact that I have another 50 years to do so, and so do you, if you're my age. But, I don't know where that's going with that tangent, but basically, long-winded, perhaps a very rude way of saying, you can fucking do it, as long as you try to put the effort in. Join me, draw along, get your pen, get your paper. Yeah, that was good. That was motivational. Probably 4 people unsubbed right there. Alright, fuck off. I don't need you. Okay? I actually do need you. Please stay. I'm sorry. We're all Viggy famming, right? We're a community, right? But anyways, I'm already drawing in my mind. I'm trying to really figure out the perspective of this guy's face, right? And it is actually very subtle. It's very subtle. And the beauty of this, I will say, is it even a beauty? Okay, so that's... Okay, so it's actually more like this. Okay, I see. It's more like this. And you're about to see my lines are actually very subpar. Because... And I'm going to be very clear. My lines are subpar because this pen is extremely difficult to use. Right? So, although my lines may look clean, there are 100 million fucking errors that occur every time I put a line down. Like, so many you wouldn't even believe. Right? Like, this line in of itself is an error, because it's, look at that, that was a little wiggle there. My camera isn't good enough to, oh, that was another wiggle there. My camera is not good enough to capture all of this, unfortunately. But believe me, I'm shit. Right. Just believe me. Right? Date bayo, as a wise ninja once said. So, and I believe, is his face tilted forwards? It is tilted forwards. Yeah, it is tilted forwards. And again, I'm trying to visualize a sphere inside of this, right? So, that's also extremely difficult, but just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's not doable. Because there have been people who've been able to do this before, and there will be people who will be able to do it after me as well. So I'm simply going to be one of them. Right? And I know, like, a lot of what I do right now, I'm very well aware. Those of you who are here may have an inkling. You may have an idea that you're like, oh, he's doing foundational work, right? You may have that inkling, and your inkling would be correct. Yes, this is all foundational work, because hundreds of hours put into visualizing 3 layers of perspective and then drawing shapes on top of that perspective before I've even started to actually draw facial features or the forms is going to pay off in spades when I get there, right? And that's the main thing, is like most people don't actually understand the value of foundational work, right? They think, oh, I'll do it for an hour. And even then, that's like, ooh, I'm doing it for an hour. It's like, no, you're just a complete pussy. Or you're an uninformed pussy, right? Either way, it's bitch behavior. And bitch behavior. Wait, is that the accent? It's bitch behavior. There you go. I don't know. Is that Middle Eastern? I don't know. I was going for Russian and then I couldn't figure out the ior part, right? So, yeah, watch me work on my accents while I draw as well. And again, while I'm talking, I am drawing. That's another important thing. This guy's face is a bit too, we see too much of the front plane. The actual reference, it's actually more like this, I think. But that's the interesting part, right? And that's actually why I think it's foreshortened as well, because technically it's something like this that's happening, right? Like maybe it's something like this, right? But to me, that doesn't look like a perfect cube. And the reality is, no, the people's faces aren't perfect cubes, right? Like our faces are narrower than they are, we are more narrow on the front plane, and then the side plane is like, if this is the front of our face and then this is the side of our face, right? Like it's why the Loomis head is something like this, you know. It's why like the skull that we have is something like this. Like, okay, this plane is much wider, this plane is not as wide, and therefore when you put it in a box, it's something like this, and it's not a perfect cube. But right now I'm focusing on the perfect cube because I'm obviously trying to think about it in terms of a sphere inside the box, and I'm trying to calculate the center line, because the center line, horizontal center line for this is something like that. The vertical center line is something like this, right? How do I know this? Because it's just this, the ellipse. It's the ellipse, right? Inside, and then the minor axis is obviously following the box, right? Which is this vanishing point. So I hope that makes sense. But it's extremely difficult to visualize and calculate consistently 3 layers of perspective. I want to be very clear. It is extremely difficult. But what I was saying is, what I'm doing right now is foundational work, which vast majority of people have already clicked off, and they won't understand. And vast majority of you who are here, I hope you draw along. But even if you don't, like those of you who are here and before you fucking click off, like this is foundational work. This is art. This is skill acquisition. This is delayed gratification. This is doing the difficult thing over and over and over again with seemingly no reward, because the reward is a person who, it's about becoming the person who can simply do this for an extended period of time, right? That's the reward. The reward isn't the skill. The reward is me, right? That I'm able to constantly put the effort in to do this for an extended period of time. And given enough time, my skills will compound. Tom Fox Draws, I don't know if anybody's heard of him. He actually put out an Instagram post 2 days ago, and it was actually very reassuring, even though I fucking like mentally constantly jerk off over reassuring myself by listening to motivational videos. But you know, coming from an artist, it's also very reassuring, right? And again, like while I'm drawing these lines, it's really hard to think about that sphere, but I'm constantly trying, right? Like you have to remember that once it's like, this is basically a line that's being placed on the box that was pre-visualized, but then there's still a sphere underneath here that has to be consistently visualized. And then literally the vertical and horizontal contour, right? The center lines, that also has to be consistently visualized. So it's extremely difficult, and I struggle greatly. And it's at a point now where, let's say about like 45 to 50% of the time I see the sphere, right? And then about like 15 to 30% of the time I see those center lines. So does that sound like a lot? No, but that's the reality. Like it's not about being a lot. It's about constantly trying to make it like possible, right? So, and this angle is already off compared to obviously like what I did, or what the original thing is supposed to be. But yeah, as I was saying, this is foundational work. And again, I want to keep reiterating, talking and drawing is a skill, and it's extremely difficult. Like while I'm talking and I'm essentially following a completely different train of thought, I'm also training my mind to see box, sphere inside the box, center line inside the sphere inside the box, okay? So I'm trying to hold 3 layers of projection while I speak. And I'm not saying this to be like, look at me, I'm such a badass. I'm saying this because that is skill. That's not a talent. This is all sheer effort I'm putting in. And you are capable of putting this in as well, right? So that's why I encourage everybody to practice along. It's not about, hey, listen to this dickhead, but I feel as if artists in general need that motivation. That's why Tom Fox Draws gave me that motivation, where he basically said that your skills will compound. His post was something along the lines of, your skills will continue to compound as long as you continue to continue. And I'm paraphrasing drastically here because I don't actually remember what he said. Maybe I'm saying it better. Right? Tom Fox, you should reach out to me. Let's collab on your Instagram posts. But yeah, like he basically said the skills compound as long as you keep going. He's like, and he's like, speed comes with time, right? And he's like, and also it slows down. Like everything you're trying to do also will slow down with time as well, right? And that's why you just got to keep going. And I found that obviously I found that very inspirational. By the way, I lost the perspective completely while I was talking because I'm looking back and forth at the portrait as well. Because even though the goal right now is really not, like, it's really not to get the eyes or the features down at all, it's still important for me to have a general idea of the features themselves, right? So that's why I'm doing this, and that's why I keep losing the sphere, and that's fine. Like, that's literally how it is, right? So this is foundational work, which is what I'm trying to say. Like, this is work that you're like, why the fuck is he drawing boxes? Why is he drawing random shapes around these boxes? Where is the portrait? I don't see a portrait. Well, you will, because I know time seems like it's going very slowly, but it's only been March. And I will definitely get to the rest of the facial features in a matter of the end of the year. And when I do, and when I start making faces, everybody will realize why I did all this work, and everybody will realize, oh shit, like, he can not only draw a face now, he can draw fucking mechanical, well-designed parts around that face. Oh, wow. Okay, so like this, how did he get here? Oh, how did he do it? Congratulations. You actually just clicked on part 147 of Portrait Practice. Go back to part 1, please, in case you're curious. Like, subscribe. But no, the whole point is, like, I will always, always, always do the foundational work. Right, it actually takes me back to that guy who gave me shit because I didn't listen to him. I got a commenter on one of my videos, basically. They kept calling me a kid, which pissed me the fuck off because I'm like, I'm not a kid, I'm a grown man. I'm a real boy now. Second, the comment was so fucking annoying because it was like, and I responded to it very nicely, but here's how I actually feel. It pissed me the fuck off because I'm also a normal person, all right? Don't fucking talk down to me like that, bro. I'm a real hard ass, right? I lift weights, what else do I do that's really hard ass? Oh my god, these are some DSLs I drew on this guy. Poor. Okay, this is not how he looks. This looks like a woman. I fucked up his lips, but there you go. Let's do something like that. Ta-da! No, that actually does look like a face, relatively. But the comment basically said, and I completely lost the sphere because I'm talking and I'm fucking keep looking back at the portrait, right? But the comment basically said, I am hitting my head against a wall. I'm not practicing the things that they want me to practice. They're like, I gave you advice on not to swear and you didn't take it. That means you don't take advice. And I'm like, you're fucking retarded. That's not what I said, but that's what I think. It's like, you're fucking retarded. You tell me to do one thing and I don't do it and you extrapolate to, oh, now you will never take advice. It's like, first of all, I don't know how skilled you are. Second of all, I don't know you. Third of all, I know what I'm doing. At least, like, I believe currently I know the path I'm on. Right? I clearly change my mind every fucking 80 hours, but those 80 hours don't go to waste because that's just me changing my direction. And right now I'm just set on doing portraits and then figures. Maybe there'll be some artwod beginner roadmap work in between, right? But the point of the matter is I'm better and everybody should listen to me. No, that comment just pissed me off because it came off as like, I care about this guy, but it was basically saying he didn't listen to me. Therefore, he is incorrect and doing the wrong things. And I don't know how skilled you are, dude. I literally have no idea how skilled you are. So I don't have an obligation to listen to you, right? And 5-10 years from now, when I'm objectively likely 10 times better than you, right? I still won't have the obligation to listen to you. I'll only ever listen to people who A, are kind, B, mean well, like actually mean well, C, are better than me, in that order, right? Actually, no, reversed. Better than me, mean well, and are kind. So like Broken Draw, Tyrion gave me really good advice, right? And he wasn't a dick about it. And like, he actually believes, like, his opinion I take much more to heart because he literally said 4 months ago, it was like December we talked, so it's been now like almost 3.5 months, right? And he's like, bro, you're 100% on the right path. He's like, the shit you're doing is insane, like your spatial reasoning stuff, like just keep going. And he's the one who encouraged me to pursue the portrait thing because I wanted to talk to him about it, right? And I was like, I think this is the path. Like, I feel as if drawing people and figures is going to allow me to create environments a la Dong Ho Kim, Kim Jong-il, Peter Han, right? Like that type of just spatial drawing, right? And he's like, yeah, man, like people create stories. I'm like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. But that's beside the point. The point is I wanted to bitch about a hater and say that all of you can do it. Don't listen to anybody but me. And let's rest our brains with that wonderful motivation, I guess. Oh wait, no, fuck. The point I actually wanted to make was that foundational work goes unnoticed and unrecognized. And that's actually where I was trying to connect that guy's comment. Is like he didn't recognize the value of the work I'm doing, right? And that's the difficult part. Is like I don't actually have the skills to be like shut the fuck up. I'm actually building the skills, which I'm very certain based on artwod's roadmap will give me the ability to have those skills, and then go back and reply to him and be like shut the fuck up, because you know the only way to win is to be petty and hold on to comments from 10 years ago, right? So I'm excited for that moment. Okay, first, yeah, but nobody recognizes foundational work. I'm just doing this because for some reason, these new Pentel pens, I don't know what's going on. Like, is it because I don't use, like, it takes me fucking weeks to run out, so the ones that are fresh somehow have some weird ink flow issue? No idea. I'll keep dick riding Pentel, but they make it hard. They make it very hard, just like myself. Anyways, okay, so this is obviously the foundational work I'm talking about, which is visualizing a box, visualizing a sphere inside that box, visualizing a center line inside that sphere, inside that box, right? Vertical and horizontal. And then literally trying to like just grind the fuck out of my brain to see it. Like genuinely, that's what I'm doing right now. Just absolute sheer effort to see something which doesn't exist, by the way, right? Visualization is a skill. It's extremely fucking difficult. And I personally do it, like for me, I partly see it on the page, but a lot of it is like mental work where I'm calculating and I'm, you know, making a consistent logic and making sure that the planes make sense and making sure that there's some sort of a contour that I can understand. But like it's like while I do the mental work, it becomes clearer on the page. I genuinely believe everybody visualizes differently, and I like, because aphantasia only affects an actual small percentage of people. It's like fucking 1% or something. Okay, none of you are so special that you're the 1%, unless you've gone and gotten tested to actually see that you have aphantasia. But apart from that, visualization is, I'm going to say something very surprising, a skill. A very, 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 very difficult skill, but a skill nonetheless, okay? And if there's hundreds and thousands of artists, if not millions, who have been able to achieve this, why can't we? And why can't you? Apart from the fact that you haven't put the volume in. You don't have 300 plus hours, 900 plus hours like I do, right? But you could, you will, and I believe you can. It's as simple as that, right? But it's just about understanding the bigger your goal, the harder it's going to be and the longer it's going to take to get there. Okay, that's the first thing I think everybody who has goals needs to understand, is like it's going to take a lot of fucking time, you know. And you don't have the right to be prideful and demand that it takes less time. I'm creating a straw man here, but I'm saying like this is the general sentiment I see from people who don't like to learn or who are beginners and don't know how to learn, right? So if you have pride, kill it. Just get rid of your ego, get rid of your pride. Right. I actually have a feeling somebody might be like, well, but you're so egotistical. You were just talking shit about that guy. That's not the fucking same thing. That's just somebody giving me shit and actually like providing criticism that comes from a very unkind or perhaps a bit of a rude place, right? You can't compare the two, because I'm telling you not to. I specifically state, nobody mentioned that in the comment section, for I'm very insecure, but that's not a laugh. That's actually a cry of pain, but let's see. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Videos all over the place. Is that we must throw our ego aside in order to learn, right? And again, like if you are thinking, well, you didn't listen to that person, well, I listened to Tyrion, I listened to Broken Draw, I listened to someone whose skills I A, know, B, respect, C, am willing to listen to, right? Simple as that. So that's the first thing. And by the way, while I'm talking, what I'm doing, if you're curious as to what I'm actually thinking about, I'm essentially A, ghosting the box, right? C, ghosting, what the fuck, I just could be. I'm ghosting the box. I'm ghosting the sphere inside the box, and I'm trying to actually have logic behind it. For example, on this large of a scale, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to visualize that. Right? I'm trying to visualize the box, and I'm trying to ensure that the curve of the sphere fits. It's like it's like first it's perfect, but also fits. And this isn't even that good of an example, but it's fitting inside this perfect cube. Like that's what I'm trying to do. And that's really difficult, because I'm creating an arbitrary line like that I'm trying to visualize, right, the box, and then I'm trying to ensure that there's a perfect sphere aligned with the edges of this box, which is extremely difficult. And then after that, I'm trying to calculate the center lines, right, like these X, Y, and Z axis center lines. But again, on a larger scale, that's much more difficult. So I'm trying to do all of that And those are the calculations that are occurring right in my mind right now. Like right now specifically, I'm focused on just getting this front plane right, you know. And then I'm now look now in my mind, I'm projecting outwards and I'm trying to make sure that it's consistent. And while that's happening, I'm trying to imagine a curve going along that, which in turn will inform. And while I'm finishing the curve, I'm trying to really make sure, to the best of my ability, that the rest of the box is there to meet that curve, right? Through its edges, you know, through its edges, like that curve. That's just like right now what's going on in my mind, right? And it's constant sheer effort to try to calculate, recalculate, calculate, make the mistake, make the error, calculate it again. Oop, lost the entire visualization. Okay, bring it back, right? So it's extremely difficult. This is what I want to say, but just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's not doable. This is why all this work that you're seeing looks like it's completely fucking useless. I'm assuming. Who knows? Maybe there are those of you who are like, wow, okay, this actually has a lot of merit. I'm excited to see where this goes in the next fucking year, 2 years, whatever. Not just this, but how it'll affect my portraits. But right now, the main thing is I need to establish... Okay, yeah, I need to establish the center line, which I've got right here. And now that I've established the center line, I need to establish... Because this is a very, very subtle contour, right? So I don't really have to do anything specific. And this is something I struggle with, is like, I want to make whatever line I make that's going along this contour, I want it to be like curved, right? But it doesn't make sense to do something like this if the entire contour is just something like that, right? Like, that is incorrect. So it falls on me to ensure that what I'm doing actually makes some semblance of sense, right? And we'll start with this shape. And now it's ideation time. Now it's design ideation time. The other extremely difficult skull. I made a mistake there. I'm just pretending like I didn't. But now it's design ideation time, which is even fucking more difficult, because on top of trying to see the box, the sphere inside the box, the center lines inside the sphere inside the box, the individual planes that are trying to meet the curves inside the sphere inside the box, I now also have to think about designing shapes. Not even difficult shapes, just relatively simple shapes, right? And that's just a giant middle finger, of course, right? In terms of just trying to figure it out. But that's why I have to try and figure it out, right? And I have to keep in mind what I said here, like big shape and then shape on the side, right? So again, this is actually what's gonna allow me to draw this, so if we have something like this, then maybe I could have something here that, let's see, maybe I could have something here that, okay, now I'm really trying to visualize this box. Well, I'm really trying to visualize this box, but I could have something like this, right? And then we could actually go out, perhaps, like so, and then we'll have another diagonal, right? That will be following this, but that's actually a bit off, but it's okay. And again, the center line is coming there. So now I have to think, like, well, what do I want to do here? Well, I definitely want something like this. Or not, I don't know if I definitely want something like this, but I would like to try something like this. And it's so hard to keep everything in mind. I'll be like, it just is. Like, trying to keep everything in mind is extremely difficult, but this is where the drawing actually happens. Like this shit that is extremely painful, wrong word, which is extremely difficult, which is full of cognitive friction and effort, is where the learning occurs. And everybody is capable of this type of learning. Everyone. You may not believe it, but let this random dickhead on the internet tell you that you are capable of it. Please, give me that at least. Let me at least, for just maybe even one person, give them the reassurance that they're capable of achieving their goals. Because I feel as in many beginners, many artists, many people who want to try to achieve something don't have people encouraging them. I certainly kind of have like 50-50. My friends are like, cool, it's nice, but do they understand? No. Do I need them to understand? Not really. But would I love an art community that does understand? Yes. But do I have that? No. Which is why this is also part of what I'm doing. By the way, while I'm talking, I've completely lost the perspective. So I need to take a step back and be like, okay, like there it is. Okay, I see it now. I see it a little bit better. Okay, I only see the sphere really, but I need to see the box as well. Okay, now I see oh, okay, see, now I'm starting to see it. There you go, it's coming back, right? But this is actually incorrect. this angle I just did here is incorrect, but we can just say this is a diagonal that's like this, right? So now how do we fix that, right? How do we fix that to make sure that it's not a complete fuck up? By adding perhaps, yeah, by perhaps adding a box. Hold up, let's see what I can do here. Let's see, what was I planning on doing with this anyways? Okay, well, we'll bring this up for one. And we could actually make this. Because this does have potential. What I'm doing here actually does have quite a bit of potential. But let's see. How do I connect these? Maybe something like this. And okay, like again, trying to see that box, trying to see the sphere. Okay, this does have potential, what I'm doing here. I just need to think about a way to connect it. Because this is following the perspective, but this is a slight diagonal, right? And if I... What if I do something like this, where this is the other slight diagonal? Because this is going like this, right? Along this perspective. So something like that would definitely... There you go. I think I went from like saying something inspirational to some bullshit right now, but I don't know. Shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Let me figure this out. Okay, so that's like this, and then this is... There you go. Maybe something like that. There you go. Okay. I think I can be okay with that. It's not ideal, but I can be okay with it. And we can even add a little sphere or cylinder here to perhaps not make it seem as waste, for lack of a better word, right? Let's see. Okay, again, I need to think about... There you go. So this is not a bad shape at all, right? Because now we can... I'm just gonna have this focus on following, and I've completely lost the box. So again, take a step back. Am I in extreme discomfort? No. Let's go back to being in extreme discomfort, right? Okay, I'm starting to see it a lot better now. Not saying I'm seeing it, but I'm seeing it at least like 10% better. So being in extreme discomfort is clearly the key. There you go. Oh, fuck, that was a mistake. It's all mistakes, you know? It's all mistakes. But let's see. There you go. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Because that's connecting. Maybe I can actually do something like this. Right, we can just do something like that and have this come back here. And by the way, when I say do something like this, do something like that, what I'm thinking of is I just gotta make something work. I just gotta maybe have a shape going in a specific angle. Maybe there'll be an addition like these. Maybe it'll be attached to each other like these. Maybe there'll be some sort of connection like this. That's what I mean when I say I gotta make something work. Or I gotta, like, what if I do this? Or what if I do that? Like, because the main goal right now is to just see that fucking box and the sphere inside the box. Like, see that fucking sphere inside the box. Especially, that's my main goal right now. And god damn if it isn't fucking so difficult. So incredibly difficult, right? But that's what makes it worth it. I want to be very clear, like, the difficulty is why I'm here, right? Like, that is why I still continue to struggle, because it's difficult. If it was not difficult, I would not be doing it. I would be twiddling my thumb and fingering my anus. But thankfully, neither of those options are an option, because I have things to draw. But anyways, Now we just obviously need to highlight this the sphere a lot more. And with that, I think I can make just something like this, right? I can do something like this. Hopefully that will... There you go. Okay, so this is starting to look pretty interesting, for sure. But I'm gonna rest my brain, and then I'm gonna come back because... Oh man, I love this. See, this is what happens when you take your time, right? And again, I'm trying to find that balance between extreme thinking of the 3 layers of perspective, right? Like just genuine effort on that, but then also obviously there's effort, a shit ton of effort put on like creating shapes over this. But the better I get at holding those 3 layers of perspective, especially wrapping forms around the contour, and the better I can get at managing an intuitive ideation of the shapes on top of that contour, right? The balance of like thinking really technically and hardcore when it comes to the perspective and like, you know, the box, the sphere inside the box, the center lines, all that shit. But thinking, yeah, trying to have a state of more free flow, quote unquote, intuition, just kind of general ideation. It's hard. It's very hard because I don't even know if that's possible or if what I'm saying makes sense. It's like I want to be more free flowing in order to let the things I've studied. I studied, by the way. What I mean by study is like I just looked at Pinterest and like kind of tried to understand hard surface shapes. I want to let that be guided more by a general subconscious intuition while still being applied technically via like actual, you know, calculation, but the ideation part of it, like the part where I actually think like what could go next, what could go here. I want that to be yeah, I want that to be informed by more intuition, which if you guys know me, like, you know, I've struggled with not being intuitive, right? Like I've constantly tried to not be intuitive, so it's obviously going to be difficult. But overall, this is starting to look pretty decent. I just got to take my time. We got to take our time, and I'm telling you this as well. Like, take your time and really, like, if you notice yourself zooming in or being too caught up in something and you haven't thought about the perspective and you haven't really like been able to zoom out, that's right now we're gonna take a break. So let's rest our brains together. And I know I'm gonna just call this out for myself right now, so I'm aware. But hold up. I know for a fact that when I get to the other side, you know, like the other side and try to foreshorten that my brain is gonna, it's like I'm going to try to rush it. So I'm gonna take my time because that's when I'm actually even in the most discomfort as well. Like when I try to rush these things, right? So we gotta make sure not to rush. You really gotta make sure not to rush. But hey, this is kind of interesting. Oh, this would have actually been a great opportunity to like create some sort of connection here, but I didn't think of that, so it's fine. It's what it is. This will actually, not bad. This way I can reinforce the perspective to myself and the center line as well. So let's see what we can, well, we can definitely create some sort of sphere or cylinder. I keep saying sphere, but I mean cylinder. And like while I'm doing this, I still need to think about the calculation of the perspective, right? Which is actually very difficult because even though I'm just drawing a simple line, I'm focused on the line. I'm focused on where this line could go. I'm focused on what sort of design this line could have. And that is actually taking precedent over thinking about the box, the sphere inside the box, the center lines inside the sphere inside the box. Why don't I speak even faster? It would be great for everybody listening, wouldn't it? This fucking... I'm a dickhead, aren't I? Unfortunately. Okay, so what shape do I want here? Well, maybe something wider. Right, let's not even try to make this anything too intense. Just literally try to keep it as simple as possible. Just box. Like, don't even think. Just box. Because I don't have the mental capacity to ideate right now. So I will not ideate. I will simply follow the perspective and create lines that adhere to said perspective. And that's fine by me. Trying to keep it relatively Ah, fuck, yeah. See, those lines were a mess up. Those lines were a huge mess up. But yeah, trying to keep it at least like following that contour, right? So, same with this. Like, what would this be? See, that's too curved. It just needs to be simple like that. And same with this. And what is this going like? There you go, curved like that. Again, too much curve, way too much curve. But hey, it's better than not doing anything at all. Right? Like, that's still just way too much curve. Because again, maybe it's not. I don't know. Very difficult. But let's see. Same with this. Follow the contour, and then we follow the perspective, and then we. But and honestly, design-wise, this is kind of meh. But right now, that's because we haven't established a perspective on the other side. Right, so the first part now, and this is exactly what I said, is my brain is gonna want to not think. Like, already my brain is like, bruh, just don't do it. Fuck the other side. But no, I will only fuck the other side once I'm done. But let's see, and then that, and then this is see, like, we just gotta really take everything into consideration. Right, and this is where I guess some foreshortening is going to occur, because I got to make sure that things still make sense, right? And something like that. And let's see, if this is here, then it goes all the way here, and this is like the front perspective. This is my front plane, right? So I just need to make sure that something like this. There you go. And we'll even do something like this. This can be a small shape. Just to, again, reiterate that it's connected in some way. But the most important thing right now is obviously the other side, and just getting that down to some degree and just foreshortening the fuck out of it. Right? And same with this. There you go. Oh, that's not bad. That's not a bad that's not bad at all, following that perspective. But you see, like, I'm trying to hold this entire sphere in my fucking mind. God damn, bro. Okay. That line was too thick. Again, lots of line issues. For sure, lots of line issues. But oh shit, see, I don't even know what's happening here, to be honest. I actually don't know what angle I did here. Maybe I explained it earlier while I was doing it, but I actually don't know what the fuck I did here. Oh no, never mind. I think this is following the perspective. This is just inaccurate now compared to this. Like, this was not accurate enough. But we're just gonna have to follow it on the other side all the same. It's thinner, right? So it's... yeah, because it's obviously going around this perspective, and we need to make sure that things are starting to sort of curve, right? So something like that. And we'll just close this off. And there you go. That should be okay. Because then on the other side, we don't really see it. And oh, I'm gonna assume we don't see it. We'll have to see it once I finish this, right? But let me actually clean this up. I like the fact that this pen is shit. Well, sorry, not the pen that is shit. I like the fact that this pen is making my lines shit, right? It makes it nice. It's nice to know that. Yeah, it's just nice to know that my lines always have a million ways to improve. I mean, I hope that despite all my shit talk, because again, like, I'm thinking about the box of spheres, it's super hard right now, it's extremely difficult. But I hope that despite all the shit talk that I do, I really hope that at least the takeaway is, well, I don't really like this guy, and he's kind of talking bare shit, but, you know, he has said that he believes in me. And That's something even my mom won't do. Therefore, I will like, subscribe, and give him all my money. That's all I want. That's all I hope for this. That's all I hope from this audience, you know? I don't need you for anything else. I just want wallet. But let's see, and we'll close that off. And you can see like my lines. Oops, see, that was a mistake. The perspective is off there. But you can see my lines are super unconfident and shit too, right? And I'm just still ideating on shapes. Ooh, maybe I could do something like this. This wouldn't be bad. Again, trying to follow that perspective. Really trying to follow that perspective. This is starting to look like some Master Chief shit. What the fuck? I'm not going for that, by the way. This is literally just me practicing shapes. I want to be very clear. But I guess practicing shapes has its own merit. Clearly. Right. And then let's see. Maybe we'll just go around. And then it will close like that. Right? And I guess that does look relatively interesting, I'm not gonna lie, right? But let's see. So we got that, and now this is the edge of my sphere, so I gotta see what that means for like the actual shapes itself, because that means this is also the edge of my sphere, right? And then we're gonna go like this. Wait. Yeah, there you go. So something like, and I'm trying so hard to zoom out right now, I'll be honest, and to like actually connect my sphere relatively decently. That's not bad. Okay, like there's issues. For sure there's issues. But that's not bad. Like genuinely not that bad. And then if that's connecting like that over here, right? We connected it on this contour, we connected it on the side contour. That means on the other side, we can do something like this, right? Wait, did I do that correctly? Maybe I didn't do that correctly, because I connected on this contour and then it went to the side, right? So it was like this, and then the same thing's happening there. Oh shit, so that means this shape is... I think I messed something up here for sure, but... yeah, definitely messed something up. Which is good, but now I just have to figure out what that mess up is, right? So I followed this contour. Oh wait, is it because this is supposed to be the edge? I've established that's the edge. Followed this contour. I followed that contour. Oh, was this supposed to be like this? Okay, like this coming here, this coming there. Then oh, it's supposed to be on the other side. Oh wait, then that means I didn't mess up. I just have to close it. But this is obviously not, this is not a perfect sphere. Now we can see, at least we can definitely see it's not a perfect sphere. Okay, maybe I did mess up actually. Because obviously it's like, where are we seeing this thing over there? Right? Oh wait, or maybe it's something like this. I forgot to add the bottom. Even so, let's see, because this, if this is my front plane, like we don't really see this on the other side. Maybe we see a little bit, right? Yeah, maybe we see a little bit. So again, like this, we kind of don't see at all on the other side, but maybe we do. Like I'm just trying to figure it out. See if like perspective wise, I don't know. I have no idea. I have fucking no idea. And yeah, like this coming down there. Fucking who knows? Right, something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't actually don't get the other side, but it's been 44 minutes, so we'll leave it at that. This was great practice. I mean, again, I always never mean to make it this complicated, but this compared to this, like, or this compared to this, that's a huge difference. That's a huge fucking difference. Good shit. This is what happens when we take our time, right? So that really hurt my brain. Yet again, I'm going to rest my brain for about 10 seconds, as I always do. I do have trouble figuring out the other side. Clearly, I have trouble figuring out the other side. So for the next one, like the next shape that I do, I'm going to focus on evenly distributing everything on one side and the other before I make any further attachments. But yeah, this is definitely not that bad. It's already obviously facing more of the center here because the sphere I ended up making wider, right? This is not a good sphere, but I tried so hard, which I'm very proud of. But yeah, let me rest my brain and then we'll get back to it. I encourage you to obviously join me and do so as well. Alright, wonderful. I don't know what I was on this video. I went from being encouraging to shitting on somebody. Oh, well deserved. Fuck that guy. to just, what do I always say? I always end up getting super passionate, yelling, and then being like, but I mean you can do it. Which I do mean. Like, I do mean you can do it. This is just who I am. I'm not gonna change it, nor will I own up to it, because accountability is also for pussies. And hashtag non-Viggy fammers, right? Which I am not. I am the opposite of that, because I am me, so we're not trying to not be ourselves. That's just weird. But either way, okay, so it's definitely more like this. And this is a foreshortened box, and I have to kind of keep that in mind while I draw this, right? That might be too much of an angle, but, and maybe hopefully this box isn't too small. Like, I would like to make it generally the same size. It is generally the same size. Okay, and then his face is obviously tilted. Or not obviously, but I see that his face is tilted. And I believe it is tilted, to the best of my knowledge and ability, right? So, does a perfect sphere fit inside here? No, but what if I extend this as per the reference? Okay, I think now it does, right? It's so hard to tell, but sphere... let's see. I mean, I think I angled his face a little bit too much, but oh yeah, I mean, definitely this side I angled way too much for sure. That's 100%. I angled that too much, but we're just gonna commit to this, and one day this pen will comply, right? That's much longer, so clearly there's some diverging going on. Slight, very slight diverging, but diverging nonetheless, so things to be aware of, right? And again, trying to think about that sphere inside this box. This is such a fun skill. I don't even give a shit that people won't understand the point of this. It is so fun to practice something as, oh, see, that's diverging too. It is so fun to practice something as difficult as box, sphere inside the box, center line inside the sphere inside the box. Like, it is actually so fun. Oh, but like, you can see my boxes, fuck, and my lines, everything. You can see everything needs so much fucking work, right? So, yeah, that's just how it is. Like, that's literally just how it is. It doesn't really, like, because even if you look at Peter Han, Kim Jong-il, Karl Kapinski, like, or before Kim Jong-il passed away, but he would constantly be like, oh yeah, that's a mistake, that's a mistake, that's a mistake. And his lines were also, while they were incredibly consistent, and on average, he was creating lines like this one right here, which is my fucking goal, but, you know, darker and with the pen not fucking it up, right, in terms of the ink flow. But, like, that's my goal, to be able to have such fine pen control to be able to create lines like that, right, consistently. But right now, you can see I made a bunch of mistakes with my lines, which, again, is a good thing, right? But even masters or extremely highly advanced individuals will make mistakes and will create things that, and I'm not saying I am one, by the way, I'm trying to put it into perspective, no pun intended, but I'm trying to put it into perspective that to a beginner I might seem relatively advanced, but in my mind, they're all I see and all I evaluate are the ideal versus the current output, right? The input is the attempt to be the ideal, the output is the reality and the gap from the ideal. And then the evaluation is the mistake that we judge has been made, and then we feel good about it, and then we try to attempt not to do it again, right? So like that's literally it. And I say literally, which are we, right? I say that in the sense of like, oh yeah, that's it. But I hope that also helps, right? I hope that's like, oh, okay. So I just need to have extremely high standards, constantly attempt to meet those standards by trying really hard, but not expect to meet those standards, and then evaluate the gap between myself and those standards. And the big asterisk is, and I will zoom out and think in decades. That's the big asterisk, right? So if you want a generational skill, you must be generationally willing to put in, no wait, that didn't make any sense. If you want the generational skill, you must be willing to put in generational effort. There you go. That's much deeper. Still doesn't make sense, but it feels like it has poise, like it has gusto, chutzpah, like it has meaning. That isn't just me saying random bullshit. But I am saying random bullshit. But you don't need to know that, unless, you know, I just out myself. But we can ignore that. I can edit that in post, right? I don't have money for an editor. This is staying. I don't have the fucking money for an editor, bro. And plus, will Viggy ever edit his videos? What do Viggy famers think? The answer is no. The answer is, in no way in fucking hell is Viggy ever gonna put in the effort to edit. I know him too well. He's a lazy piece of shit, right? I still have to get back to the fucking guy who sponsored me. Like, I think I mentioned this, but somebody literally sponsored me a sketchbook, right? Or like a they gave me the option. Daniel Flipchap, right, is the guy's is like his company, and he literally gave me. He emailed me and he reached out and he gave me the option between. It's not like I didn't get it. It's not a paid sponsor, by the way, which is. I'm just clarifying. I don't have an opinion or the other about that. But, and by the way, while I'm doing this, like while I'm talking, I'm thinking. While I'm thinking, I'm fucking failing miserably to see that box, to see the sphere inside this box. So, yeah, these features were too big. Like that is way, like that makes sense. This is just way too big, I think, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, apart from that, like not being able to see the damn sphere inside the box or the center lines, is the fact that. Yeah, Daniel reached out, and I'm so lazy, I still need to fucking get back, right? But he gave me he literally sent me a free portfolio, and I will, like, portfolio binder, and I will, of course, do, like, the proper video being like, hey, thanks, and he'll go in my description, right? Let me actually, dude, for those of you who are here at this point, because very few people will be, right? Look at this shit. I can get a gold engraving as well. The quality of this is insane. And I'm not dick riding just because I was sponsored. Like, I was actually genuinely surprised, right? Plus, I'm dick riding because, you know, like, I think he deserves it. But look at this. Like, it's obviously, it's kind of gonna be zoomed in. But look at that, bro. The engraving. Watch me become great. Oh my god. The quality, like, it's nut-worthy. The only thing is I can't figure out how to fucking put my shit in here. So once I figure that out, I'll be able to show you guys. But overall, just type in Daniel Flipchap, Daniel Flipchap, like flip, like flip phone, and chap, like what a stand-up chap, right? And you should be able to see what he offers, right? I can now actually proudly say I am affiliated and a shill. Right? Actually, no, I'm technically still not affiliated, but I can proudly say that I'm sponsored and I'm a shill, right? He didn't even ask for me to actually do any specific sponsor. He literally just said, if you don't mind, it would be cool if you could talk about me, or like just mention the product, right? And I respect that. I respect the general kindness that comes with, hey, I'm not demanding, I'm not saying you have to, but, you know, like, if you don't mind. And you know what? When somebody's that kind and they go out of their dudes, like, the fucking ratios of the features are so off. If we're going by like perfect ratios, you know, with like the nose being symmetrical and all that shit. Obviously, there are people out there with smaller eyes, bigger nose, bigger lips. Of course it exists, right? And that's the beauty of the diversity that I can't wait to fucking draw, like the human diversity. That's why I'm so excited about portraiture. But yeah, like I'm gonna deck ride in because I want to, not because I have to, right? Other sponsors I may get in the future, fucking decades from now, I'll be dick riding because I have to, but I'll also want to. So either way, it's a beautiful self-fulfilling prophecy. Anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain. I really didn't think about the sphere as much as I should have here. So, like, I'm still calculating, but now I'm only calculating the middle center line in the sphere, and I've completely omitted the horizontal. I've completely omitted the vertical one, which is something I still need to think about. But I'm going to rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. And then we will come back and we will again try to wrap some shapes around it, and I'll keep in mind, like, this is a big issue I have, right, with like both sides. So we need to establish the sphere, right? So yeah, we're just gonna keep trying. This is really fun. Okay, cool. So I'm back. Pussy and crack. Isn't that a song? I don't know, but no one knows what it means. It's provocative. It gets the people going. Nobody's, dude. I say such stupid shit. It's a miracle that you guys are still Viggy famming. But okay, so again, thinking about this box, right? And now because I can't look at it really, like I can't. It's gonna take eye movement to look at it. I need to actually visualize it here by only using my peripheries and my memory, right? So again, right now we're just ghosting the bottom plane. Now we're ghosting the side plane, right? Okay, I looked at it now, but yeah, we're ghosting the side plane. We're ghosting the bottom plane. We're ghosting the front plane. We're trying to create a consistent, a perfect sphere, right? There you go, a perfect sphere that is encompassed in it, right? And now we're trying to think about the center line. This actually helps a lot explaining. Why didn't I do this since the beginning? Because I'm a fucking moron, that's why. But let's see. Okay, yeah, it's actually way more angled. This is the angle. It's not accurate to the reference, but we're doing it accurate to what I've drawn, right? So let's see. I think actually drawing the sphere and then encompassing the box would perhaps be more helpful. Yeah, because this way I can actually think about the center line. That's pretty cool. So with that being said, right, and this is my horizontal center line. Again, something like this. Still very, very thin, right? Because again, think about it. It's like something like this, right? So what is it? It's if this is the sphere that's, or the ellipse that's placed inside this, you know, the minor axis, that was wrong. This is the minor axis. Then if we're just looking at specifically a sphere, then this is the contour that we're seeing, right? Super subtle, very subtle actually. So I just gotta, yeah, I think definitely ghosting the sphere is more helpful because now I can ghost the sphere and project the perspective on top of it, right? So this is still extremely difficult, don't get me wrong, but it actually keeps me in check with like the proportion and the consistency of the sphere, because when I'm only ghosting the box, it's harder to see. But now that I'm ghosting the sphere, as you can see, and I'm thinking about putting the box inside of it and trying to measure it, this actually makes it a lot easier in a sense, or a lot more consistent for sure. So now that I've got that, I'm going to do something like this, which is, okay, that's the center line, so maybe I should do something like this. Right, there you go. And now that we've got that, I can do something like this. Right, oh yes, now you're gonna be a nice wet line, aren't you, you motherfucker? A line that very clearly showcases my weaknesses, but there you go. Okay, so I made a mistake, and we're gonna have to live with that mistake. But I did make a mistake because this is too high up, and this is actually gonna get in the way of this over here. So all the shapes I draw now need to be related to the bottom of this, which isn't bad, to be honest. Like, that's just another problem for me to solve, right? And let's just do something like this, and this way we can create, there you go. That was also a huge mistake, but yeah, this way we can actually like start creating the yeah, dude, definitely ghosting the sphere is the most important for sure, because now I can actually get some sort of consistency going with the size of the sphere as well. I say that as I completely fuck up the edge, but anyways. Vicky is a very funny guy. Unfortunately, he's not for me. Fucking betrayal, bastards. But, oh, see? Okay, this perspective is off. But maybe I can make it in a way that's not off. Right? Let's see if that's how it is. And this is... Oh, no, like, it's all off. Yeah, see, I couldn't get the angle down because it was really drastic here. And I just didn't get the angle down. So this is our new angle. We're going to deal with it, right? It's more akin to this than this. But that's our new angle now. right? And with that being said, obviously I'm still going to keep trying to see this angle and put the sphere inside of it, right? And this is great because now I get to do something like this, perhaps. Right, and this is actually where a sphere ends, I believe. Maybe? No, I mean, this curve is off. So, okay, stop going over it, because clearly the pen is not agreeing with me. Jesus Christ. Right? But, let's see, maybe... I do want something long, right? But, okay, so this is like the tail end of my exercise, so clearly I'm running out of any sort of decent ideation, but this is actually just an opportunity to grow, right? To think, to allow myself to fail, obviously, more than anything. Okay, so let's really try to think about that box. Okay, and then this is... So we'll do something like this. I'll have this go out quite a bit, right? We'll really push this. Because that's another thing that a lot of artists say is like, don't be afraid to push. Okay, so this is already off perspective, right? But we're just gonna have to deal with that. But yeah, a lot of artists say don't be afraid to push the like the shapes in general, like exaggerate. And I do have trouble with that. I struggle with that quite a bit, right? So I want to try to break out of it, if possible. Okay, and then now we can just create a nice little cylinder here. And I'll even do something like this. Right? For perhaps a design that doesn't look that bad, but it might be. And damn, this pen really is kicking my ass right now. Okay, yeah, see, that's way too close. You can see that. That's way too close. But it's a choice that I've made, so we have to deal with it, right? And... see, that would have been more accurate. God damn it, didn't mean to move the paper. This is actually very difficult. This is very difficult. I mean, it's always difficult, so that's just the truth, right? But... let's see... okay, so how can we connect these? That's the real question. Real. And what if it's something like... something like this? Right, and this is... okay, what do I want to do here? And this is the perspective. Again, I'm trying to think like how these can just be connected. So this is hopefully thick enough. Nah, it doesn't look that good. And there's a tangent now too. Oh no, it's so bad. It's so bad. But that's okay. It's what it is. We can't all be rock stars, right? But okay, so obviously the big thing is I should have just spaced this out elsewhere. I mean, that's probably definitely one of the big things. But let's see, because I can't keep losing the sphere, right? And I did say I wanted to get the other side this time, so we are going to do that now. And of course, we're going to obviously still try to design something. And really try to think about that sphere while I'm doing this. Really try to think about that box. Really try to think about that center line. Right? Let's see. That's not even centered, so that's a fuck up on my end. But let's see. Okay, what did I do here? Oh wait, it's still in perspective. Cool. Thought I really fucked that up, but I didn't, thankfully. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, these are okay shapes, right? Nothing extravagant, but it's all right. It's Gucci. Well, vibing. Yeah, dude, this pen is really kicking my ass in a good way, but it's still kicking my ass, right? Okay, now we need to do another nice little thing, which is connect this, right? And how can I connect this? By doing something like that. There you go. And this goes all the way up. And then this connects here. And this connects here. And then this also connects here. Right here. And then ta-da! That's not bad. And then this connects to this here. Right, and then we can close this off as well. And we can close this off. That doesn't look too bad. Does actually look relatively complicated now. What the fuck? I didn't think I would be able to achieve something like that, but this is what happens when you allow a little bit of free flowing, it seems. Not that the goal was, I'm going to free flow, but it turned into at least a sort of general free flowing, right? Actually, the main critique I have now of this drawing is my lines. And while I'm doing this, I'll be completely honest, I've really lost a lot of the sphere, but the box is very consistent. It's more consistent. But I've definitely lost a lot of the sphere, which is why after I draw these initial shapes, I'm going to be taking a step back to, just like now, recalibrate, right? Recalibrate and re-understand exactly what it is that I'm drawing, right? Like where the sphere is. So again, you know, I have like ghosting the sphere helps quite a bit in that regard, right? Like, and I don't even know if I'm going to be doing this accurately anymore because it's fucking me up a decent amount, but yeah, ghosting the sphere is still pretty decent. So let's see, we'll do something like this. I don't know actually where the other side of the sphere is, right? Let me actually just get this other side down first. Let's see, it's like right there. And then we bring it out, down again, bring this up over there. Right, we don't see the other side. Cool. What do I want to do with this? What do I want to do with this? How do we want these shapes to connect? Well, maybe if this is the perspective, we'll just have it end connect like that. Right? That is interesting. Like that sort of manipulation, the diagonal. That actually made it look pretty interesting. I don't know how the fuck I'm doing this, I'll be honest, but this might be me tapping into what I said, which is the intuition, right? Like the nice little intuition. And I mean, I'm glad that it is occurring because that's something I have been trying to focus on for quite some time. And now the thing is, like, just because I did it this one time does not mean I'll be able to access it every time. That's another thing that we have to, and I'd like to inform, like to be very aware of, is to be cognizant, right? To be conscious of what you're doing. And right now, if I were to explain what I'm doing, I'm not taking the shapes I'm drawing too seriously, and I'm trying to be more curious about what direction I take them, while still being like, I think maybe that could be interesting. So, like, when it comes to thinking about the perspective and thinking about the sphere, yeah, like for me, there's a certain level of intensity of like really visualizing it, right? Like really thinking, really visualizing it, all that stuff. But when it comes to ideation, before I actually make the shape, when it just comes to ideation and yeah, like the application as well, right? It seems to me that just thinking about it in terms of, like, okay, like, I don't know, like, it's trying to be more casual about it, right? Like, be intense when it comes to visualizing the perspectives, right? But don't be intense, and this is just me explaining to myself and thinking out loud, right? This isn't me prescribing anything, but if it helps you, right? Like, do not be afraid to give it a shot. See, I made a huge mistake there, that's misaligned, but do not be afraid to give it a shot. Yeah, that's horribly misaligned. Yeah, but don't be afraid to give it a shot, Because you never know, like it might help. And you might not actually be at the level that this is helpful as well, right? Like you actually might not be at the level where this is very helpful for you. But let's see. But then like who knows? Fucking you keep trying, and then you are at the level where it's helpful. Right, so let's see. Okay, so that's a bit of a mistake I made there, but that already looks way cooler than anything I've drawn. Even though there's bare mistakes, right? I think it looks pretty decent. Perspective is actually kind of going all over the place. Actually, no, this is a diagonal, so it's fine. This is the actual perspective. This is a diagonal that I fucked up. Clearly, I made quite the errors here. Like, yeah, there's issues there. But now it's just time to solidify my perspective, right? By drawing the end of the sphere. So let's do something like this, because clearly this is my sphere. Now, this kind of looks like a butt cheek, actually. I fucked that up. Something like that. But now we just need to be like, okay, well, whatever, that's like a screw. Oh yeah, let me get the other side of this. Let me not forget this. So we got that. It's like slightly there, and then it juts out like so, right? That's actually, perspective is too narrow. And then it's in the middle of this, and it comes out, and then we can close it. There you go. That's pretty okay. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, the thing is, like, this is way more complicated. This is just like, hey, add a fucking sphere. Add sphere on other side. Oh no, what a difficult task. Or sorry, add cylinder. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like, what a difficult task to add a goddamn cylinder on the other side. But baby steps. Yeah, this sphere in general, I definitely messed up, but let's just do something that would be like, okay, maybe it didn't mess up after all, right? So let's do something like, and then if that's coming over here, then and this is actually just really good spatial reasoning practice in general, right? Yeah, just wrapping around some sort of shape, and we'll just make it in this perspective, right? Like the perspective that the box is in, right? And then we can add little details. There you go. That looks kind of interesting. And then I can just do something like this, right? Where if it's gonna wrap around, oh yeah, it's gonna wrap around like this. Yeah, right? See, wrap around like that. Same thing here, wrap around like this. Definitely getting better. I'm definitely getting better, that's for sure. Okay, it's been an hour and 13 minutes. So we need to fuck off. Yes, I need to fuck off. Let's just do something like this. Right? And is that in the correct perspective? Not really, but there you go. Wait, I did that wrong. No, I didn't. Oh, I did that wrong, that's for sure. And let's just do something like that. Oh, well, I did that wrong too, Jesus. What the fuck? So something like this. There you go. I'm clearly just shooting the shit right now, and I'm not ideating properly, so I do apologize. Because this is not even anything interesting. But let's see. Well, this is just me telling myself that, hey, just... Yeah, see, like, I did it wrong on the other side. Still supposed to follow the goddamn perspective. My lines have gotten really shoddy. Like a melody. There you go. Like, that was really bad what I did here. So there you go, something like that. Okay, fuck it, just close the sphere off. Oh wait, that's too much. There you go. Well, this was really wrong. But actually, no. It was really awkward, but overall, this isn't too bad. That's not too bad either, actually. You know what? That's not bad, but it's huge. It's way bigger than I intended it to be. And that's because, yeah, I projected a sphere that was too large. And again, full honesty, I didn't really see it nearly as much during the second half because I was more so focused on the shapes. So that's the balance, right? Or that's the goal, is like to be able to see this, the box, the sphere, the center lines at all times. And this is gonna take me a very long time, but at all times. And sometimes I just forget, but yeah, at all times, and draw shapes on top of it. But I mean, at the very least, I think I got a decent bit of a level up in terms of the mindset and the mental approach towards drawing the shapes, in terms of like ideating them and making them seem pleasant. But yeah, fucking really hard, really fun, right? That was a great session. I hope you also put a lot of effort in and really tried. But as always, right, with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please, give me money.